Chapter 4, Busted. The next few days at school were lousy. Something always seemed to backfire on us. At recess on the first day, all the kids were talking about the big summer fair. Bat enemy number 1, Jim Brody, had been there. He had seen me get on the merry-go-round with my sister Ellen. "Hey, Simon," Jim yelled, "maybe your t-shirt should read Eat, Sleep, Babysit." "My dad made me," I replied. "I had to help my sister." All the kids laughed anyway. The very next day, Jim Brody pantsed me. He pantsed me so hard I fell right over. I yanked my jeans up real fast, but not before I heard lots of giggling. Oh, great, I thought. How much did the girls see? The next day, Simon and I got picked last for baseball. Jim Brody laughed. "You guys suck at baseball." And that was true, but was it fair? When it rained on Thursday, my mom drove us to school. Did she have to yell, "Love you," out the window? Simon and I met for lunch each day in the Batcave. We both felt lousy. "This is just great," I said. "All the kids think we're a couple of dorks." "They wouldn't if we get a ride in that Corvette." Simon pointed down the hill. The yellow car was back again. "It shows up each day at the same time," Simon said. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Timing it." "Yeah, yesterday it showed up at 12:33:25. It stayed until 12:52:19. See, I wrote it down." I looked at a dirty piece of paper. The paper looked like Simon had sneezed all over it. "What are these other times for?" "Each time that car shows up, kids from the high school go over. They talk to the driver, and I time them." Simon was right. 2 older kids leaned into the car window, and then for a couple of minutes, or at 12:42:49, they walked away. Then, at 12:45:02, another teenager came along. "Big deal," I said. "The high school is just around the corner." And then I had a great idea. A bat brainwave. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to go down there and walk right up to that car. "Are you nuts?" Simon asked. "Remember what we saw the other night? I think the driver is up to something. Don't forget, we've got his $1,000. But if we could get a ride in that car, we wouldn't be dorks. We'd be cool again. So I'll just ask the guy. I'll tell the guy he's got a great car. Then I'll ask him to drive me back to the schoolyard." "And you think that will work?" Simon asked. "Sure, I'm just a little kid drooling all over his car. He won't mind showing off." "Maybe you should give him his money back for the ride in the car," Simon said. I thought about the money in my desk. Every morning and every night I took out the money and just looked at it. I kept dreaming about what it could buy. No way I wanted to give the money back. Yeah, maybe," I said. "Look, if I get a ride in his car, then maybe I'll know what to do about the money. Like, I'll find out if it's his or not." Simon shook his head. "Sometimes I think he doesn't trust me." At lunchtime the next day, Simon and I hid out on the hill. At 12:47:09, the yellow car showed up. "I'm off," I said. "But lunch is almost over," Simon pointed out. "Don't worry." I snuck out of our spot and ran from bush to bush down the hill. When I got to the bottom, I swung myself over the fence and hit the sidewalk. I ran down the street and walked right up to the car. I tapped on the window. The driver rolled it down. "Get lost, kid," he said. Hi. Like, I was hoping you could show me your car," I said. "You're looking at it, kid. Now get lost." The driver was really big. His head touched the roof, and his body filled the whole seat. He wore dark sunglasses. But just then I heard the warning bell ring. Only 5 minutes before we had to be inside. Time was getting short. "Please, sir, I've been watching you for days, and I really like your—" But I didn't get to finish. The driver stuck his hand out the window and grabbed my shirt. "You what? You've been watching me?" the guy yelled at me. I tried to shake off his hand, but it didn't work. "Well, your car, I mean your car is so neat and—" I didn't get to finish. Just then a police car came around the corner. In no time, the yellow car took off. I was really glad the guy let go of me before he burned rubber. I thought the cop car would go after the yellow car, but it didn't. Instead, this great big cop got out of his cruiser and came over to me. "Hey, kid, what are you doing down here?" he asked. Nothing, I was just..." I began. "Are you skipping school?" "No, sir, But I didn't get to finish. The cop shoved me into the back seat of the cruiser. "Know what we do with little punks like you?" he asked. "No, sir." "We throw you in jail."